Good morning, guys. Crypto Savvy here with your Bitcoin update. Is the bottom in? That's the question a lot of people are asking. There's a lot of people that say it is in, and there's a lot of people that say it has to go lower. We're going to take a look at it today, kind of see where we're at.
1, 2, 3, jump!
All right, guys. Before I begin, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any investing or trading in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile at times. With that being said, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand side of the screen, and then you can tick the little bell if you want to get notified when I post new videos. Also, if you can give me a thumbs up and leave comments in the comment section, I'd really appreciate it. All right, well, let's start out in the daily chart in Bitcoin and looking at this falling wedge still, or descending wedge. We're gonna zoom in to where we're at now. We're getting a little bit of action this morning. I don't know that it's too much to get excited about yet, but there's a couple things pointing to the good and the bad. So what you see I have drawn here is, this is kind of almost like a broadening wedge with the two solid yellow lines coming down here. Blow it up a little bit. These are my support and resistance lines. The blue and the yellow lines are horizontal, they're straight across. Now where we're at, looking like this morning, like I said, this could be a falling or descending broadening wedge here. But if you look up here where I have these dotted lines, again, we're on the daily chart. These dotted lines looks like a broadening wedge here. A lot of times in a downtrend, these will break to the downside. But if we look at it here, you know, we could consider this an uptrend. But for right now, let's just take a look at it and see where we're at and do some measured moves on it. And, you know, look at some of the possibilities of what's going on here. We've got a nice bounce off of this. And if we zoom in, I'll zoom in later. Let's discuss the daily chart first. So what I was looking at earlier is, if this is a symmetrical triangle here, and I've drawn this bottom trend line on the symmetrical triangle as a dotted line, because it's not a guarantee that is the actual trend line, but that is where we bounced off this morning. And if you look, it meets with this dotted line, which is the broadening wedge I have drawn here. So we're going to take a look at this and what the breakout targets might be. Now, if we were to break up out of this triangle, we would measure the move from here. And if you watched my videos, I've done this before, and everything this definitely seems, I still have that on a dotted line. Sorry about that. Let me get in a straight line. All right. So if we were to break out, and just to kind of take a guessing point of where the top of this broadening wedge, right here, the dotted line, and then the top of the symmetrical triangle where they meet there, we'll just take that and kind of see where that gets us right up to this area in here, which is around the $5,025 range. So that all, you know, fits in real good with this top of this descending wedge that I've shown in the beginning of the video. Now let's take a look down and see what the possibilities. Now, for that breakup, you'd be watching this area, the top of this dotted line here, and this symmetrical triangle, the top of that. And you're going to want to look for a breakout above this line. And if it was to breakout right here, it would be around the 38.30 range to be watching. Now, I'm going to move this down if we were to break out of this triangle. And the way we would know if this line is the trend line, and like I said, I'm not sure yet, before I had it up here and moved it, because when it broke down here, we didn't get any volume. And usually if you break a support or resistance trend line like that, you'll get heavy volume, and we didn't. So that's why I've drawn this dotted one here, which it's possible that this could be the trend line of this symmetrical triangle. So if we were to break out of this symmetrical triangle and go down, as you see on this trend line, it lines up perfectly with right over here. So that would be looking at around the $2,200 range. Now, you know, like I said, a symmetrical triangle, we could break either way. I am not saying that we're breaking down, but that is definitely a possibility we need to watch. And you know, another possibility is we come down and just bounce off and do a double bottom if we break out and go back up. But we're not there yet. So in my honest opinion, I'm bullish here. I know I have a bullish bias, and it just seems like a lot of the other guys out there charting, it's like when one person that somebody respects is making a call, then everybody wants to make a call. And what's easier than calling more down in a bear market? You know, that's the safest bet, I guess. But I personally, I'm 75-25 that the bottom is in at this $3,100 range. So that's just my opinion. Again, this is not financial advice, but I'm going against the crowd on this one. I just, I don't know. I don't see a reason that it has to go down more. But again, that's only my opinion. And this line here I have drawn, it's January 31st, and that would be the exact amount of time from the last big bull run. Was, I believe it was 410 days from the very top to the very bottom. So I've just drawn this line in here, just kind of something to watch. I'm not putting any weight on it or anything like that. But now another thing to look at here, if we were to break out of this, if this is a broadening wedge here, and that would be a measured move too, and you measure the point of breakout when you use a broadening wedge like this, and to say if the breakout was right here, you know, that target would be right around the $4,300 range, which would be right in along with these. But if you remember, we did the measured breakout of the symmetrical triangle, which was higher. So if we was to break out up here, you know, it might come back down, might even get a retest and bounce back up. But another thing to look at there that's pointing to that area is, this is my 55 EMA, and that would line up pretty good right up here. If we was to, you know, get up to this area, that could help with the resistance of this trend line. And if we do break back down, obviously, you know, we could be looking at the bearish scenario. But as of right now, I'm looking bullish on this, guys. So, and as of right now, that's about it. And like I said, if you could, please hit the subscribe button. There should be a logo above my head right now. If you click that, that'll get you subscribed, and then you tick the little bell to get notified when I put out videos. And if you could, give a thumbs up and leave comments. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.